we have the power for reproduction. Everybody, every human being, every creature, every animal, everything, plants, everything, they can reproduce themselves. Why that power is given to people? Because it is a duty, it is mandatory that the civilization should continue, the people has to continue, the mankind has to continue. So for that, it is your duty. Otherwise, what will happen? There will be an end. If everybody don't marry, everybody don't produce children, the mankind will be extinct immediately, maybe after a few years. So it is mandatory. That's why the God has given the power for producing the reproduction. But if God don't want that power to be given, He could have created people without that power. To become the spiritual person. So they become automatically, they are born as a spiritual person without the power of reproduction. Even there are flowers, the lotus flowers, the flower cannot reproduce. That's why we are using for puja. The jasmine flowers, that also cannot reproduce. So it cannot, that's why we are using for puja. Red rose flowers, they also cannot reproduce. So we are using it. But whereas other flowers which can reproduce will not use, because the pollen will be there and the flies has to come and honey and all will be there. Such flowers we are not using for puja also. Same way they could have created people like that. They can create. They are only specifically meant for temple work or spirituality work, but that is not done. So God has created you with every facilities and every powers, and you yourself become that, and you think that it is very great. That means, actually speaking, you are disrespecting the godly energies, the creator. The entire purpose of the creation, you yourself is changing it for your satisfaction or for your fancy, for your whims, like that. So we don't find, even Sarveshwara don't find. Because when I initially entered into spirituality, I asked whether I should leave family. Then they told, if they are depending on you, don't leave them. You take care of them. Like that, even if a spiritual person is marrying, having children and all, there is no problem. It is part of that. Even all our rishis, all Vedic rishis, they were all married. This is Vasishta. All these people married, and they had children also. So at that time it was okay, because later only this has entered, celibacy and all these things has entered into that. So it is also not correct. It recently started. Otherwise it would have been there. It would have been there in the beginning. A Vedic period also. Every rishis were married. They had Rishika's wife, children, and everything. It was there. But later, slowly this become a ritual, something like that. It is a man-made. So God don't have any problem with that.